Tad, a hard-working mechanic, once helped a lady with her unique and antique car. The other day, tired Tad was coming home, and what he sees was a helicopter landed in front of his home. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tales with Cekos. Today, I'm going to share an exciting story with you. There lived a man named Thaddeus Tad McGrath, a name that rang with familiarity in his small town, where everyone knew him by his endearing nickname, Tad. He was not just any mechanic. He was a dedicated craftsman at McGrath's Automobile Emporium, a quaint garage that stood as a beacon of hope for car owners in need. This charming establishment was nestled snugly between a high-end boutique filled with luxurious fashion items and a bustling 24-hour diner, where the smell of freshly brewed coffee and sizzling bacon wafted through the air. The Emporium was more than a garage. It was a community hub where locals gathered to share stories and seek advice, and where Tad became somewhat of a local legend. Rain or shine, Rain or shines, Tad could always be found at his workbench, sporting a pair of grease-stained coveralls and with an ever-present smile that spoke to his passion for all things automotive. He was often seen with grease under his nails, a testament to his hard work and dedication, as he expertly wielded a wrench in his hand. Tad treated every vehicle that rolled into his shop with the utmost care, tinkering with the heart of each car as if it were his own beloved creation. His hands, skilled from years of practice, could diagnose problems with uncanny precision, and his love for mechanics was evident in the way he spoke about engines and gears with uncontainable enthusiasm. One particularly dreary afternoon, as dark clouds hung heavily in the sky and the heavens unleashed a torrential downpour upon the city, Tad finished up his shift at the Emporium. He climbed into his trusty old pickup truck, affectionately named Betsy, a vehicle that had seen better days but had also shared countless adventures with him. Betsy was a bit battered and bruised, with a few dents and a faded paint job, but she chugged along faithfully, her engine sputtering to life as he turned the key. The windshield wipers swished rhythmically, struggling to keep up with the heavy sheets of rain that blurred the world outside. Tad squinted through the downpour, his headlights piercing the gloom and illuminating the slick pavement ahead. As he navigated the wet streets, his thoughts drifted to the warm dinner that awaited him at home, perhaps a plate of his favorite meatloaf and a slice of apple pie for dessert. It was during this moment of reflection that something caught his eye, a flicker of yellow in his side mirror. He instinctively turned his head, and his heart sank as he spotted a woman standing by the side of the road, her car clearly stranded in distress. The vehicle, a small sedan, was partially hidden behind a curtain of rain, its hazard lights flashing feebly as if pleading for help. Without a second thought, Tad's instincts kicked in. He pulled over to the side of the road, splashing through puddles as he parked Betsy on the shoulder. The rain pelted down harder, soaking him to the bone as he stepped out of his truck. He grabbed his worn-out umbrella from the passenger seat, but quickly realized it wouldn't be much help against the deluge. Nevertheless, Tad dashed through the rain, his heart racing with determination and a sense of duty, eager to offer his assistance to the woman in need. As he approached her, he could see the worry etched on her face, and he knew that he was about to put his skills to the test once again. The woman, sodden and shivering, introduced herself as Alara Stormsong. As she stepped into the flickering light of the street lamp, Tad couldn't help but take a moment to fully absorb the sight before him. She was truly a striking figure, with eyes that mirrored the tempestuous depths of a stormy sea, vivid, swirling hues of blue and grey that seemed to hold within them the secrets of nature's fury. Her hair cascaded around her shoulders in wild, unruly waves, dark as the midnight sky just before a torrential downpour, droplets of rain glistening like diamonds as they clung to the strands. Tad's gaze flicked to the vehicle she had emerged from, a rare vintage model that he had only ever seen in glossy magazines and classic car shows. The sleek lines and polished chrome spoke of a bygone era, where elegance and craftsmanship reigned supreme. Despite her apparent wealth, a stark contrast to the luxury of her car, she stood before him with an air of vulnerability that tugged at his heartstrings. Her clothes, although undoubtedly expensive, clung to her frame, drenched and heavy, and her skin had taken on a pallid hue, further emphasizing her state of distress. Alara's expression was one of utter bewilderment, as if she had just stepped off a roller coaster ride of emotions, and her grateful gaze bore into Tad's soul. She exuded an unspoken plea for assistance, a silent acknowledgement that she was not merely seeking help with her vehicle, but perhaps something deeper, a connection, a moment of humanity in a world that often felt isolating. Tad felt an overwhelming desire to step forward, to offer not just his expertise with cars, but also his compassion in the face of her apparent turmoil. The rain continued to pour around them, but within that storm, a spark of understanding began to flicker between them, a glimmer of hope amidst the chaos of the night. With an innate talent for problem-solving that had been honed through countless hours spent wrestling with temperamental engines and navigating the unpredictable world of machinery, Tad quickly assessed the situation and diagnosed the issue at hand: a mere flat tire. This seemingly small setback, however, was no match for his expertise. He rolled up his sleeves and set to work, his movements swift and sure, each action executed with the precision of someone who had faced far greater challenges in the past. The rain continued to pour down, beating a steady rhythm on the pavement, creating a symphony of sound that filled the air around him as he worked diligently to change the tire. Ilara stood a short distance away, her gaze fixed on him, her expression a curious blend of admiration and relief. She couldn't help but feel a sense of awe as she watched him tackle the problem with such confidence and skill. The way he focused intently on the task at hand, his hands deftly maneuvering the tools, spoke volumes about his experience and determination. With each twist of the wrench and every turn of the jack, she felt a growing sense of reassurance that everything would be all right. In that moment, she realized that it was not just his technical skills that impressed her, but also the calm, collected manner in which he approached the challenge. The rain may have been pouring down, but it felt like a mere backdrop to the scene of competence unfolding before her eyes. Tad was in his element, and Ilara couldn't help but feel grateful for his presence and his ability to tackle any obstacle that came their way. 2 days had slipped by in a quiet blur, with Tad absorbed in the rhythmic clanking and clattering that accompanied his tinkering with the engine of an ancient beetle. The car, a relic of a bygone era, had become his sanctuary, a place where he could lose himself amidst the oil-stained metal and the comforting hum of machinery. As he wrestled with a particularly stubborn bolt, the overcast sky hung heavy above, a blanket of grey that seemed to threaten rain at any moment. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted. A sleek black helicopter, its glossy exterior gleaming even under the dreary skies, sliced through the clouds and descended gracefully towards the parking lot of McGrath's Emporium. It landed with a soft thud, its rotors slowing down to a gentle whir, drawing the attention of every passerby in the small town. The townsfolk, who had been going about their daily routines, halted in their tracks, their eyes widening in unison. Whispers of excitement rippled through the crowd like a wave, their collective jaws dropping as they took in the sight of the aircraft. It was a scene straight out of a movie, and Tad, distracted from his mechanical endeavors, wiped his hands on a rag and stepped out from beneath the Beetle's hood to investigate. Then, like the blossoming of a flower after a long winter, Ilara emerged from the helicopter. She exuded an aura of elegance and charm, her presence illuminating the dreary surroundings. Clad in a flowing dress that danced around her knees, she looked every bit like a vision of hope and warmth amidst the cold grayness of the day. Her hair cascaded over her shoulders like a waterfall, glistening even in the muted light, and her eyes sparkled with a radiance that could rival the sun's first rays breaking through the clouds after a storm. With an effortless grace, she made her way through the gathering crowd, her smile infectious, as if she carried the light of 1,000 stars within her. Tad felt his heart race as she approached him, her smile directed solely at him, a beacon of warmth in the midst of the crowd. "Thaddeus," she began, her voice wrapping around him like a warm summer breeze that chased away the chill. It was a name that rolled off her tongue with a softness that made the mundane sound magical. "I wish to express my profound gratitude for your kindness." In her outstretched hand, she presented him with a letter, its envelope sealed with wax that bore a symbol he recognized but couldn't quite place. The scent of sandalwood and rain wafted from the paper, evoking memories of distant forests and tranquil moments spent in nature's embrace. Tad took the letter, captivated not just by its fragrance, but by the moment itself, by her presence, by the weight of her words. "Please, come with me," she urged, her eyes sparkling with a promise of adventure and untold stories yet to unfold. Tad felt an irresistible pull towards her, as if the universe had conspired to lead him to this very moment, and he could do nothing but nod in agreement, ready to embark on whatever journey awaited them beyond the confines of the parking lot. The helicopter ride to Ilara's estate was a breathtaking blur of vibrant greenery and unrestrained opulence. As they soared through the sky, Tad gazed out at the sprawling landscape below, a patchwork of emerald fields and ancient trees, interspersed with shimmering lakes that sparkled like jewels in the sun. The helicopter descended gracefully, revealing a mansion that loomed majestically on the horizon, a sprawling masterpiece that stood as a testament to the grandeur of a bygone era. Its stone facade was adorned with intricate carvings, and ivy climbed the walls in a graceful dance, creating a harmonious blend of nature and architecture. The garden that surrounded the mansion was a lush paradise, bursting with a riot of colors from blooming flowers and the intoxicating fragrance of jasmine, whispering secrets to the wind as it rustled through the leaves. As Tad stepped out of the helicopter, he was enveloped in an air of elegance and history that seemed to emanate from every corner of the estate. The mansion's entrance, flanked by ornate columns, welcomed him like a portal to another time. Inside, he felt as if he had walked into a living painting, the grandeur of the place swallowing him whole. Exquisite chandeliers dangled from the high ceilings, their crystals catching the light and casting delicate rainbows across the polished marble floors. Rich tapestries adorned the walls, each telling a story of its own, while the scent of aged wood and fresh flowers blended seamlessly in the air, adding to the enchantment of the surroundings. Alara, with her poised elegance and captivating presence, led him deeper into the mansion. They traversed long corridors adorned with artwork that spoke of history and culture, eventually arriving at a study that was a sanctuary of intellect and refinement. The study was lined with bookshelves that reached the ceiling, each shelf sagging under the weight of countless tomes, the spines promising adventures and knowledge waiting to be discovered. In the center of the room stood a polished wooden desk, and there, waiting with an air of quiet authority, was a man named Mr. Whitaker. He was the butler, a stalwart figure who seemed to embody the very essence of the estate. His smile was as warm and inviting as a cup of tea on a cold winter's day, radiating a sense of comfort and familiarity that put Tad at ease. "Tad," Alara said, her voice echoing in the vast room, rich with possibility, "I wish to offer you a chance to join me here, to work with me, not just on cars, but on something grander." Her words hung in the air, heavy with the weight of opportunity and the promise of adventure. Tad's heart raced at the implication of her offer. He could sense that whatever lay ahead would challenge him in ways he had never imagined. Tad looked from Alara to Mr. Whitaker and back again, the envelope feeling like it was burning a hole in his pocket. "What could you possibly need me for?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "Your skills are unparalleled," Alara replied, "but it's your heart that truly sets you apart. You see, I'm not just a woman with a broken-down car. I'm the heiress to the Storm Song fortune. I'm Mimi Marbo, Semsom Sultforchi, and I need someone I can trust to help me manage my latest venture, restoring vintage vehicles for those in need. It's a noble cause, and one I believe you'd be perfect for." Tad felt the weight of the world lifting from his shoulders. The offer was more than he could have ever dreamed of, a lifetime of security and the opportunity to work on cars that were true works of art. But there was more to Alara's proposal than just a job. It was a chance to be part of something that could make a real difference in people's lives. Love this story? Tap that like button and subscribe to this channel for more. Let us know how this story made you feel with a single word in the comments.